If stay in your lane was a person. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. So our favorite Harvard grad, Miss Kimberly Foster, at it again. So she's reposting this. I saw this earlier. She posted this maybe a couple of months ago. It's actually a segment from another video she did. And Miss Kim Foster, and for the first people that come in, let me get a comment. Once again, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Miss Kim Foster is talking about class, and she's beating a little 5 foot, whatever she is, 5'2", 5'1", 5'3", whatever, a little 5'2" elitist a-hole. And to Miss Kim Foster, I say, F your concepts of class. You're black. Yeah, you could take all that elitism and shove it. Sorry, Kim. White men ain't hearing you. And I know you're with a black dude right now. Yeah, white men ain't hearing you, Kim. Y'all can always date white. Okay, fine. Your education and your social circles have elevated you out of dating black men. Fine, go date white men. Problem solved. Go date out. There you go. You're better than blue collar men, right? Yeah, I'm not saying that blue collar men don't deserve a love and affection, right? Pause. But stay in your lane, is what Miss Kim Foster was really saying, right? Look at the lefty. I told y'all, they're full of crap. I told y'all. And in her comments, some women are pushing back, but the majority agree. But they don't have Kim Foster money. You know, when y'all say class, you know what y'all really mean? Day parties. You know what y'all really mean? Baby luxury cars that you could barely afford. You know what y'all really mean? Condos y'all could barely afford. And suburbs you could barely afford to be in. Right? When y'all say class, y'all mean being upper middle class white woman, but painted black woman struggling to keep up with those upper middle class white women. Yeah. See, Kim Foster can say what she says as a Harvard graduate who professes to earn some $300,000 a year. Kim Foster can say that. The rest of you earning your $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year, but speaking like you, Kim Foster, right? It sounds nice. You get all, you get that nice, tingly, fun feeling inside, condescending to men you think you're better than. Train tracks, right? And that's why Miss Kim Foster makes sure to say not income, right? She didn't say income, she said class. I'm better than you Negroes. I read. I talk about authors and philosophy, and my humor is different, and the things I like are different, and I'm upper echelon, unlike you peasants, you blue collar peasants. It's not about money, you nouveau riche losers, right? It's not about money. Doesn't this sound like those white people when they started interacting with black entertainers that had way more money than them and were way more famous than them? Look at these people. Ugh. They have no class. They have money, but they have no class. Money can't buy class. Look at Kim doing her best rendition of an elite white a-hole woman. Dear black women, I already told y'all these people don't really mean right by you. It sound right, it sound good to watch them poke at black men all the time, right? And how is this supposed to work for all these upwardly mobile, college-educated black women that are white collar, right? Talking about class. How is this supposed to work for them? Still live in an anti-black, white supremacist, racist society. But yet you think you're better than the blue-collar men that come in abundance, and many of them earn more than you in your white-collar, air quotes, upper crust, upper class career. Where are all these black women that's talking Shakespeare and going to plays? Where are these black women who know bell hooks in and out? Huh? Who know about Audre Lorde and can give you quotes back to back to back? Who can give you Baldwin quotes back to back to back? That know about the Stoics, right? Where are all these black women? Because I've only dated black women since I was 23. Where are all these black women? College educated or not, right? Where are all the black women that know all the intricacies and they know, oh, by the way, only half of Americans, earn this much and all the random data and facts. I can give you a few dozen black men in the black manosphere that'll eat a college educated black woman up alive. Brothers with no degree, and they'll run circles around your college educated sisters, including some of your Ivy Leaguers. Huh? All this class talk to pretty much tell black men, I'm better than that. And all of this based off of what? Some anecdotes from some bitter 34-year-old black woman. I've seen so many black women date men, that weren't college educated, that were blue collar, and it didn't turn out for them. And these men are jealous. No, Kim. More and more data is coming out that shows the resentment is not on the men's part. The resentment is on women's part. The part y'all never like to talk about. Yeah, we've done a pretty good job at socializing the men not to be jealous of their wives with the degrees and the status. The problem is the women with the degrees and the status. Yeah, that part, Kim. That includes the black women with resentment, Kim. And delusional. You want to talk about Kevin? You brought up Kevin, Kim? You brought up Kevin. What about all those delusional ass women night after night after night after night after night after night? Huh? College degree or not, I'm a PhD. You forgot Kevin continued to play that over and I'm a PhD. Yeah, he was mocking y'all because you sounded retarded. Class. You're black. Y'all try to pull that. See, you can only flex that class stuff in the black community. That's why y'all like trying to flex that class talk in the black community on black men. Take that outside the black community. See how fast one of these non-black people remind you, nigga what? Oh yeah, we're using profanity this morning. And I'm not saying it's right that they check y'all on that. I'm not saying it's right that what you've accomplished doesn't go, acknowledged in that way, unless they're using you as some type of mascot or something. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying you only could flex that class stuff on black people because non-black people don't care what you are because you're black. That's your class. Screw your income, you're black. Screw what social circles you swirl around in the black community and even outside the black community because you're black. Right? I'm better than that. I grew up upper middle class. I went to Harvard, and the social circles I occupy and the social circles, that I have access to. No, bro, you just watch too much television and you want to live out one of these white women fantasies. Sex in the City, Real Housewife fantasies, right? And shout out to Better You because that's exactly. Right? And give me a second, I'm going to read that in a minute. And then you post this as a response to Iyanla speaking of Ebony K. Williams. Fine then. Y'all know what y'all got choices, black women. Y'all got choices. Too many black men are blue collar and not of your class. You're upper crust, upper class because of your education and because of your career path and your access. Fine then, go end up with the white men or non-black men that are part of that class. Have fun with that. There's not enough, remember, there's not enough white collar black men of this class. You could do that, go eat vagina and be in a same-sex loving relationship, or because I saw so many of the LGBTQ in the comments talking about this, straight people, it's so exhausting, it seems so taxing. Who asked all you LGBTQ folks? Who asked you? Every time some straight person saying something, some LGBTQ black person pop up out of nowhere, that seems so exhausting. Who asked you? That seems so taxing. Right? Who are these people? Back to the topic at hand. Yeah, so Kim, your black women got choices. Black women like you have choices. Black men are not on your level in mass. Y'all are college educated. You're part of a certain class. Forget the income, your class position, right? Well, like I said, you could end up with the white dudes, right? Because remember, your class matters more than their race. Fine, go end up with the white dudes. Go enter some same-sex loving relationship, or stay single and enjoy your vibrator until you meet the right, person, whoever they may be. Always talking, and it's like this really coy, slick way of like poking at black men always, right? And these people want to talk about antagonizing. Black men are antagonizing us. It's really difficult for them to keep on calling you a misogynist nowadays. So now they just say they're antagonizing us. Meanwhile, because these people speak and hide behind 4 and 5 syllable words and hide behind their degree, they act like they're not in the mud with the rest of us, poking at black men, making fun of black men, insulting black men on the low. Right? And Better Uses, and thank you for the super chat. Better Uses, they watching Real Housewives, bro. Serious. Just admit, Kim, you wish you were an upper middle class or rich or super wealthy white woman, and you're full of crap. Dear FD Signifier, this is the woman you claim to share ideological. Excuse me, dear FD Signifier, this is the black woman that you claim to share an ideological tint with. Shout out to you, whoever you are, brother, that's in a relationship with her right now. Jesus Christ. Right? Right? All this fake ass class talk coming from black women from around the way, or that grew up like a stone throw away, or that, okay, you grew up upper middle class, Kim Foster, congratulations for you. You're still black in America. Unfortunately for you. Right? Who raised this chocolate dip white woman, bro? If y'all, I made a video about these bourgeois, the bourgeois class, the petite bourgeois class of black people, and like Kim Foster, and I said it. Kim Foster is the face of this. For us millennials, us younger Xers, us Gen Z, this is what I'm talking about. And she claimed to be the voice, a space for black women. You're literally a chocolate dip white. That's why it was upper middle class white women that started the feminist movement. Kim Foster literally is that, but chocolate dipped. Right? Literally that, but chocolate dipped. These are the people that the black community tells us to defer to, because when they get around the elders, they get all meek and mild, and they speak perfectly, and they have the right vocabulary. But these are the people hiding their contempt of black men, working class and blue collar black men, behind, once again, 4 and 5 syllable words. Man, this lady could fall upside down on her head for all I care. I'm tired of these Oprah wannabes always just poking at black men and then got the nerve to talk about people going after them and targeting them. Like they're not engaging in the same fight. Like they're above it. You're not above it, Kim. The Kevin Samuels and his audience refuse to acknowledge class, and I never see anybody really talk about class. Get your lame ass off. Who put her on the stage? Class. People that think they're above it, you're not above it. Why? Because Harvard just gave you the right type of words to hide behind while you get at black men because you're still mad about who didn't want you in high school? That's why I keep on going to that, by the way. Right? Class. You want to talk about class? You're a less talented Oprah. You want to talk about class? You want to talk about class? A Harvard attendee, 34 years old, has her own place, doing well in life, not married, doesn't want to have children. Spends her time, going around. I know you're doing other things off of the internet, but spends her internet time making videos poking at black men, claiming she's not. Has the unmitigated gall to call black men useless. Yeah, we won't forget that you say that. Right? Huh. You're talking about who's useless. You, Miss Foster. You want to talk about useless? Huh. Class. Black women in the 21st century trying to use this class talk against black working class blue collar men. I'm not saying they're not deserving of love, and while simultaneously saying, I'm better than you. I am better than you. Huh. But you're a black woman. See, now, when a brother walks up, looks you up and down, and then you can see he looking at you like, you're not of the right skin tone, Miss Foster, that represents the class that I'm trying to represent. Oh, crap, Mr. Z, you went there. See, when we start talking colorism, that's when sisters in like you get in your feelings. You want to talk about class. See, when the brothers with some money walk up when they slim, light-skinned girlfriend, light-skinned wives, racially ambiguous but black girlfriends and wives, and y'all feel a certain way about that, what about if they say, oh, your skin tone doesn't represent the class that I'm trying to represent? Ooh, huh? Yeah, that's cute, Miss Foster. You went to Harvard. Yeah, that's cute. I'd rather take the chick at McDonald's that's light-skinned and slim. What about when they start doing that to you? Huh? You want to talk about class? See, y'all get to poke at black men, insinuate and insult black men, and then act like you not doing that, and then claim colorism, all this other talk, right? That's why y'all feel a certain way about colorism, about skin tone, all this class talk. As a black woman, a darker skinned black woman, looking down on working class black men in the same era as black women in luxury. You made a video about black women in luxury, Kim, and it wasn't half bad. You made no, you didn't make one about black women soft life, but essentially, and you don't understand how stuff that you said just a few months later perpetuate that weirdo black women in luxury stuff. Or are you talking out of both sides of your mouth? We don't care what you do, what gets your vagina wet, Miss Foster. We care about the sneak dissing. Nobody cares about you and what gets your vagina wet. We could care less. Trust me, black men in the black manosphere could care less about what you find attractive. But the sneak dissing and hiding behind 4 and 5 syllable words and BS feminist concepts, yeah, that we do care about. All this desirability politics talk, because you really trying to reconcile the fact that you ain't chose by the type of men that you like. I seen your man. I'ma leave it there. And no, Mr. Z ain't no for men 8, 9, 10. But Miss Foster, I'ma leave it there. Cut the crap, yo. We seen how you responded to Brittany Renner. We see how you respond to Cardi B. Your issue isn't class. As a Ivy League educated black woman, your issue isn't class, Kim. Your issue is that you weren't chosen by the men you want. And every time you're reminded of that by Miss Brown Sugar, shout out to Obsidian, by Brittany Renner, by Cardi B, right? By the City Girls, every time you're reminded of that, it pisses you off. And then you run to the internet and YouTube talking about how much you don't care about it. You care. Because feminists like you act like you're above it. You're not above it. Feminists like you act like because you're supposed to be above it. You're not supposed to care what men think and what men feel. Particularly a black feminist? Oh no, you definitely not supposed to care what straight black men think and feel, especially the one that's not sleeping in your bed, not the random black dudes. But Miss Foster, you do care. You care. You were livid that Brittany Renner had the temerity, not the right word, gumption, better, to tell black women, get in the gym 3 times a week. Make yourself attractive. You know why you were mad about that? Because you know there was nothing you were ever going to be able to do to compete against a Brittany Renner and how men view her. I didn't say black men. Right? And that's why you were mad. Because in your mind, there's nothing I'm ever going to do, Brittany, to make me you. The way you're received in the world, the way you show up in the world, there's nothing. And I'm going to keep on telling people I don't care, but I really care. Right? I'm going to keep on talking like I'm above it, but I'm not. And when I call these people disingenuous, this is what I'm saying. All this talk about punching down, all this talk about black men being antagonistic, black men punching down, black men in their colorism, black men in their featureism, black men being misogynist, black men being sexist, all this talk. You know, all of this really is I was in Cho's talk. See, unlike all of y'all, we don't have men in general, black men specifically, we don't have to do all this pontification and all of no, nope, nope, no need. Real simple. For us, it's real simple. How was her dating life in high school? Oh, that's it? Okay, yeah, we know what it is. What about when she was at Harvard? What let me okay, that okay, yeah, we know what her issue is. Yeah, but she's talking about colorism. She's talking about desirability. And she's, quoting bell hooks and throwing books in black men's face. Yeah, that's not, none of that matters. That's not her real issue. Go back to 16, 17-year-old her. That's her real issue. Right? That's her real issue. Everything else is just talk. Why was Ostefko so important in the conversation? Because she said it. Kim wouldn't say it. Yanni wouldn't say it. Paris wouldn't say it. Cynthia G would. All of these people will not say it. Ostefko said it. Kim Foster won't say it. Right? And Mr. Donnie Mack says, so she's non-select. That's it. There's a whole lot of non-select people. We're not all 8, 9s, and 10s. Right? You going after Miss Brown Sugar because she's called you out for what you're doing. Everybody outside of that circle that you occupy, Kim, everybody sees it. We know what you are. We grew up with you. You are a suburban cousin. We know who you are. We know what your real issue is. Yes, including other black women. Right? I'm not gonna wait until Kim finally snaps and then she forgets to edit the video or edit her snapping before we call this out. I told y'all what Ostefco issue was, and finally when she made the video about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, she told you. I smiled. When I smiled. Let me tell you why. Because it reminds me, and she went all the way to elementary school on y'all ass. I'm arguing that Kim Foster has more discipline than that, and it might take her 15 years more before she actually says it. Although she did say even the nerds in high school weren't checking for her, so she went to prom with a white dude. So, her issue wasn't the jocks not checking for her. She understood where she ranked. Even the nerds weren't checking for her. Even the black nerds weren't checking for her. Miss Foster, did you lose your virginity to that white dude? Because that would say a whole lot. Oh, that would say a whole lot. Keep on talking like you above it. While you sniping at blue collar black, and then you try to mitigate for it by saying, "I'm not saying these men aren't deserving of love and affection." Shut up. These are the type of people that got to go through the 80s and the 90s and the early aughts like barely checked because white supremacist society gave them the microphone, put them on the world stage and said, oh, go ahead and talk, black women, and snipe at black men. So we could be like, yeah, we might have our foot on black men, but look at how black men treat black women, especially college educated black women. Because let me get this right. The black community is a matriarchy if you want to be kind, a gynocracy if you want to be accurate, but somehow black men are oppressing black women. Yeah, that's it. So the reason why y'all see me hearing y'all with this energy, I watched this video since yesterday. I just rewatched it again to get frustrated this morning because once again, it's not about Kim Foster in particular. It's the Kim Foster archetype and then the space they occupy across this country, right? It's the space they occupy around this country, right? It's the fact that white people, white racist women, and white racist men allow the Kim Fosters of the world to talk. Mainly on the left, but they allow the Kim Fosters to talk. They encourage them to talk because they know they're going to sound like this, right? And y'all give me a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Give me 1 second. And we're back. I don't remember who said it. It was like it's not a Mr. Z stream if you don't at least take a break for 20 seconds, or if he doesn't pause for 20 seconds. I don't like the fact that y'all know me so well, right? But it's just it's this is annoying because once again, it's not Kim Foster. This is bigger than Kim Foster. We do, and Miss Foster, I really want you to understand. I don't even have a problem with you. I'm pretty sure there's certain things that we agree with politically. I'm certain things, even there's things that we agree with socially. My issue with you is that you're fake as hell. That there you go. You're hiding behind big words. You're hiding behind your degree. You're trying to complicate this. You're just a bitter sister. And it doesn't matter if you're in a relationship with a black man right now. You have truly, we're not saying it just to say it. You have intellectualized your misandry. That's all. Like I said, let's stop calling it Afro studies or any type of African American studies. Stop calling it that. Call it hate nigga studies because all of these black people, namely black women that come out of these classes, hate black men. They just hide hating black men behind bell hook quotes. Call it hate nigga studies because that's what it is. All of these black women, Talking, they either colorism, featureism, black men not standing up for them this way, black men during the civil rights movement being abusive, black men being abusive now, black men not stepping up this way. Black, what? Go end up with the white dude and be done with it. But they can't do that. They gotta punch. They're the ones in the superior position talking about you punching down. What? You forgot white society elevated you because you sound the way you do? You forgot they're using you as their white racist tool? Excuse me, their black racist tool against, racist against black men, and you're a black woman, I'm just saying. But you think just because you allow black men to fuck on you that means something? Oh yeah, like I said, we're using profanity this morning. You think because you're sexually attracted to black men, that means you're not what? Anti-black man? Because our upbringing is so different because we have an XY chromosome. Yeah, there's certain things we deal with, y'all don't got to deal with. Certain things y'all deal with, we don't have to deal with. But y'all speak like the difference is so big. Just so y'all can, sound the way you do. And I said so big, pun intended. Ha ha ha. That you get to speak the way you do. Look, it's not my fault you weren't born a upper middle class white woman, Miss Foster. You got to go take that up with your parents. It's not my fault that you're not treated like an upper middle class or rich white woman. You got to go take that up with the white racist system. It's not my fault that you get to play head negress in charge in the black community, but the second you step out, white people don't care what you're talking about. Latinos don't care what you're talking about. Asians don't care what you're talking about. You got to go take that up with them in their respective communities. It's not our fault that you say that you graduated from Harvard and people clap it up for you, and that's great. And it is something that is, But who was it that said? Did they say Howard or did they say Harvard has ruined more black people than bad liquor? They need to just extend that out to saying these Ivy Leagues are ruining more black people than bad liquor. Right? And Oliver the Grace is, and thank you for the super chat. Oliver the Grace is, if you can't pull a black nerd, you're not a good person. Yeah, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Exactly, Oliver. Exactly. And I think she described herself as neurodivergent, something along those lines, right? These people really like. It's insulting that they insult our intelligence. Does Miss Kim Foster know things Mr. Z doesn't know? Of course. Mr. Z is a community college dropout. Miss Foster got to the highest heights in arguably the most notable school on the planet. Right? Arguably the most notable school on the planet. Right? She graduated from that school. Kudos to her, and I truly mean that. Kudos to her. But everything outside of that, listen, lady, you're a straight up asshole, and like nobody cares. Yeah, it's not fair. Okay, fine, it's not fair. Pretty women get to be that. Not really, but okay. Light skinned women get to look. Brittany Renner got to, and y'all remember, she liked that Brittany Renner was talking shit to men. She liked it. She said it looked promising. You think you're not a sexist misandrist, and you're admitting that when Brittany Renner was talking crap to black men, you thought it was promising. You thought she showed promise. And you think you're not a misandrist. But when Brittany Renner starts telling black women, hey, you pretty much want to be who I am, maybe get in the gym 3 times a week, now you got a problem. What? You think calling black men, particularly black men in the black manosphere, useless, you think you're not a misandrist. Huh. And all of this based off of some anecdotes about you having access to upper crust black women who struggled in their marriages with blue collar black men because they were desperate, right? Do these women know that you talk about them like this? Do they approve of this? By the way, Miss Shirley, I'm going to use you and your relationship with your blue collar husband as an example of why I don't date blue collar. I would rather date a man that makes less than me, but I'm not dating blue collar, which, by the way, Kim, you have every right to. No one cares about that. But that sneak dissing, right? And then women in your comment section who I know don't earn no $300,000 a year, talking this class talk. Let me check y'all. Let me check y'all bank account. Let's check that credit score. Let's see what you actually do for a living. Fine, it's not about money. What do you actually do for a living with all this class talk? Where you got a middle management title and you make $60,000 a year and you talking all this big time class talk in Kim Foster's comment section? If you don't get your extra regular ass the hell up out of here, the epitome of living vicariously through someone else. Kim Foster talking all this big talk, and okay, she earns $300,000 a year, but the rest of you earning 45, 50, 55, 60 with a middle management title talking all this big class talk because you go to day parties with your homegirls and drink mimosas. Right? You see what I'm saying, Trail? 65K a year, 590 TransUnion credit score. You see? And he said, at best. Talking, bruh. I love the internet, y'all. I love it. They can't hide their egos won't let them shut up. Their egos won't let them keep themselves from typing all crazy in the comments. I love it. Y'all just screenshot this type of stuff, save these videos, because when your sons ask you and when your daughters ask you in the future why things are the way they are in this non-existent black community, exhibit A. Because the black elite spent more time punching down at heterosexual black men, particularly working class black men, blue collar black men. They spend more time punching down on them than talking anything about white supremacy, talking anything about the economy, talking anything about any of that. One of the women in her own comment section said, we're in election season. Why are we still talking like this? We have an election coming up next year. What? Exactly. because these people rather engage in the class warfare against black men, the culture war against black men, than talk about Trump, than talk about Biden and his lack of policies for black people, than talk about other presidential candidates, DeSantis, right? Any of that. No, they would much rather spend time punching down on black men while trying to speak about desirability, while speaking about colorism, while speaking about class and being better than blue collar black men. Kim will say, I didn't say that, you said that. And that's okay. Kim, if you think you're better than blue collar men, nobody even cares about. We don't even care about that. Stop sneak dissing though. Because what you're really saying is I'm better than them niggas. And it would be, I understand you're the Ivy League college educated one. Yes, you are. But you gotta know, people still know when you're insulting them. You know that, right? Like, yeah, you're more educated. We don't know if you're more intelligent, but you're more educated. But people still know when you're insulting them. People still know a sneak diss. Kim, walk through the hood, sneak dissing people, and see how far it gets you. Use all your intelligence and your education to sneak diss, and see if they don't pick up on the fact that you sneak dissing them. Right? You can't just sneak this and insult black men and then run off. Where you running to? Other black women? White racist left? Y'all just add this on a growing list of Kim Foster resentment tells. Kim Foster sneak dissing tells. Kim Foster in the mud with everybody else acting like she's not. Kim Foster speaking like she's above it when she's really not. Kim Foster, a black woman in America, talking about class. You're black. You're a black woman in America. Outside of the black community, who respects your supposed class position? What, a couple of white feminists? You are Harvard educated. Who even cares that you're Harvard educated as a black woman in America? Outside of a couple of white feminists, Foster. Who cares? Outside of a couple of black feminists. And that's not black men's fault. You got to go take that up with white racist society. So you're trying to flex on black men, essentially saying you better than blue collar black men. And what have you done for the world? I could show you blue collar black men that's fixing leaks, that's fixing pipes in roads, that's saving lives. I could show you blue collar black men that's actually doing so. What are you doing except throwing more salt in the game? Okay, fine. Okay, cool. You want to do that? Let's play that game. What exactly are you doing, Miss Foster, for the betterment of this society? Okay, you are Ivy League educated, Harvard educated black woman. And what exactly are you doing for the betterment of this society? What? Going to lecture? Huh? Trying to do sip and paint with black women to ease the stress? Doing Galentine's Day with a bunch of single black women. What exactly are you doing for the advancement of black people? Not just black women in a vacuum. That don't work. Y'all been trying it for 40, 50 years. Dear Miss Foster, you can't do for black women in a vacuum. So once again, what are you doing for black people? Huh. So that's look, the talking reckless, the sneak dissing, going in on blue collar, right? Thinking you're above it, but you're not. Calling black men, I said this before, calling black men in the black man is very useless, right? Like you're really gonna be speaking above black blue collar men's head. The black man that you were insulting all the time, Obsidian, he's blue collar, right? You want to say Obsidian's not educated? If I'm not mistaken, Gigi right now is blue collar. If I'm not mistaken, Dr. Green Gorilla. You want to say Dr. Green Gorilla? You want to say you know more than Dr. Green Gorilla, Miss Foster? Huh? You want to say you know more than Dr. Green Gorilla, Miss Foster? Just say you want to live out some white fantasy that some Ally McBeal, um, Sex in the City, Real Housewives lifestyle, and you don't think a blue collar black man will appreciate it and want to provide it for you, and be done with it. You don't gotta sneak this. Just say you want to be a chocolate dip upper middle class or rich white woman and call it a day. It's okay. We live in the era of the divestors, Miss Foster. You could say that, and black men are so used to black women speaking insanely about them, we won't even blink an eye if you say it. Now, Mrs. Z will make content about it, but everybody else will be like, "Oh, that she said that? Okay, cool. That's better than the black women talking about aborting black males." It's okay, Miss Foster. You can admit that your issue is that you want to be a chocolate dip white woman, right? You don't have to make it seem like your experiences are so different and your interests are so different. The gap just can't be closed. And black women always got to pull this stunt, right? Because the men are going to resent you. They're going to resent you. They're not going to appreciate what you are. They're going to resent you. Meanwhile, how many black men and black women are in relationships? And this brother is blue collar as hell, and his wife and his girlfriend is white collar. And it makes for interesting kitchen table conversations. And babe, let me tell you what happened to work today. Let me tell you what this chick said today. Let me tell you how she, you know, mistyped this paper today, and how many typos there were, and how she didn't turn this document in on time, and the misspelling. I thought she said she had a degree. Meanwhile, Miss Foster, who real issue is that she want to play out some 90s television show white woman fantasy in her head, that she has in her head, excuse me. That's her real issue. It's telling you we want to appreciate it exactly. We want to appreciate that they want to eat $500 sushi at Nobu for lunch. That's her real issue. Because you don't really understand how important that $500 lunch is, right? And how she's gonna hobnob and rub elbows with a certain class of white folks, people, right? And how that can bring her more business. You don't really get it as a blue collar man why that's so important, right? And once again, this is really not about Kim Foster. It's the Kim Foster archetype we're using as her avatar, right? And exactly, like she wants to go to the opera goals, fine, excuse me, wine tasting, right, and the ballet. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. What's it? There's nothing wrong with that, and there's nothing wrong with you seeking brothers that appreciate that. But the sneak dissing of blue collar black men, like we don't understand these performances of class. We don't get it. We don't understand the nuance. Straight insulting. We don't understand the delicate dance and the nuance in this performance of class and position. And how this Beamer is not just a car, it's a symbol of class. And how this Lexus is not just a car, it's a symbol of class. And this Benz and living in this neighborhood and speaking this way. Miss Foster, what I'm not describing exactly what you're saying? Be reminded, Mr. Z is blue collar, but I know exactly what you're saying. The gap is not nearly as big as you say. As a matter of fact, it's really non-existent. You just trying to find another way to sneak this black man. Right? We don't really get it. We don't understand why you have to spend money with that and donate here and be seen here at this event wearing these type of clothes. Right? We don't really fully understand. Right? Yeah, I could get the fully loaded Camry for 35, 37,000, but it's better that I get the Beamer with no features because it's the base Beamer, or I got it used. But it's better I get it used. It's better I get a used 5 Series than a new Camry because I got to portray the particular class position. We get it, Miss Foster. We get it. And then I have to have the iPhone and not the Android. We get it, Miss Foster. We get it. And that, yeah, we can have a nice big house in this neighborhood, but it's better that we have a smaller house or a condo in this neighborhood. We get it, Miss Foster. We get it. And Mr. Z is saying it this way so that you can understand. We understood what you were saying. You just went above and beyond to be insulting. And boom, Demetrius, classism equals makeshift caste system. I said it. What she really said is, I'm above you niggas. I'm better than you niggas. And whatever little, secondhand trauma, third-hand trauma that I experienced by watching my elders, my black women that I thought were better than their husbands. Look, man, I done been around black women my entire life. I done seen black women talk. She's better than him. In front of their children. So whatever second, third-hand trauma Kim Foster experienced as a child, listening to other black women talk about their homegirls and how much better she is than her husband, now she an adult talking like that. That's what it really is. and we don't want to talk about class. And I've watched too many men resent looking up at their wife. Kim Foster, you forgot we were raised in a matriarchy? If you want to be kind, a gynocracy, if you want to be accurate. You forgot? I watch men resent looking up at their spouse. Yawn. Wait, so black men who are raised by mainly single mothers resent their their wives and girlfriends for having a certain income? No, 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 no. Because you said it's not really not about money. So resent their wives for occupying a certain class position and hobnobbing with upper echelon white people and speaking about products and names that these men don't know? You mean the same men that listen to rappers spout off these products every 5 seconds in rap songs? Huh. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. We resent y'all for talking about going to restaurants and wearing clothes that we don't know the names of while we're listening to rappers talk about restaurants and wear clothes we don't know the names of. Okay, yeah, that's it. Right? And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Yeah, that's it. Hmm. Yeah. Who needs white supremacy when you got Kim Foster? Who needs white supremacy when you got Kim Foster being the colonizing agent for white racist society? What did so we had a resentful sister that was mad that she had to go to prom with the white dude because she wanted a black man. Okay, that's understandable. That's understandable. Then she went to Harvard and found a way to intellectualize it. Oh God. Then she attended Harvard and became a Harvard graduate, and all she's been doing is intellectualizing her misandry ever since. James Baldwin, I am not your Negro. Maybe you should watch that documentary, Miss Foster. Huh. And these are the people that the white left likes to promote and have them speak on black people's behalf, namely black women's behalf. And you wonder why, when these black intellectual women are portrayed on television shows and movies, they're so one dimensional because they all act like him. They speak like her, they move like her, they act like her. Right? And you said Indigo, peep your comment before that one. I'm looking. I'm looking. I do not. Oh, you're towing somebody out of tunnels? Right. So yeah, there's no point in me belaboring this too much more. Okay. On that note, all right, Miss Foster, that's just another one for the books of educated black women who got chose by white society poking fun at black men. Just put it in the book. Acting like that's not what they're doing. Oh yeah, that important part. Right? right? And I just want to say this again, brother FD. This is who you say you share an ideological tint with. You know, is there somewhat of a class structure in the black community? Yes. Are there black people that resent the fact that at the end of the day, that class structure is only limited to the black community, and the second they step out, black people be like, nigga, who? Right? Do they resent the fact that that class don't mean nothing outside of the black community because you're still black, and in America, black is the class structure is race related, right? And thank you, Kev C. Kev C in the clutch, right? And Kevin says, thank you for the super chat, brother. And Kevin says, Kay Foster and women like her want to went to Harvard and similar schools. She should have found and married her quote high class husband during that time. She failed. Exactly. Exactly. Right. Right. So look, at the end of the day, there's no way, Miss Foster, that when you do things like this and say things like this, it's it's not going to be responded to, right? Unfortunately for you, we no longer live in the era where you could speak like this and no one says anything. Unfortunately for you, all right? You should have lived in the era. You should have been an adult during the era of Oprah. That would have been perfect for you, right? Just it's really pathetic, actually, because they swear they're doing something different or slick. They swear they're above Kim Foster. I promise y'all, Kim Foster thinks she's above it. She swears she's not in the mud with the rest of us. She swears she's not gender Warren. She think that Harvard degree means something. And I'm not saying it. No, like what you accomplished going to being a Harvard graduate. I'm not. First of all, I can't take it away from you. Nor would I want to. But you can't use that to hide your sexism and your misandry, right? And the fact that you sneak this in, and the fact that you think you're above the rest of black people, black men, black blue collar men. And no, you can't try to mitigate for that by saying, I'm not saying these black men are not deserving of love. Okay. And just like that, I don't I don't care about what gets your Johnny wet. What matters is the sneak dissing, right? And shout out to Gold Professor. Pause for the cause. You already know what I'm gonna say. As I've said before, um, every time Gold P pops up, I will remind you that Gold Professor was the first person to suggest that Mr. Z starts his channel, and here we are. Y'all send y'all hate mail to Gold Professor. Miss Foster, send your hate mail to Gold Professor. Um and Gold P, Kim Foster is the for Harriet young lady, right? Her actual name is Kim Nicole Foster, the for Harriet young lady who like shout out to Toya, intellectualizes her misandry. She just hides behind 4 and 5 syllable words and complex concepts that are really not that complex. And sneak dissing and insulting black men while acting like that's not what she's doing. That's what she does. Right. You see what I'm saying? And Mr. Donnie Max says, unless you're willing to leverage your class and status to take care of an um able-bodied black man that's not your son, what's the point? Yeah. All right, I hear you, Gold P. I hear you. And Gold Professor says, peace, peace, peace. Once again, who is Kim Foster? And on that note, good point, Gold P. Good point. Good point. Good point. Right? And Gold P said, okay, okay. Kim Foster, question mark. All right. Right. And on that note, right, thank y'all for listening. Gold P has the funniest way of saying, who is this nobody? Z, why are you spending your time on this note, on this shadow? Right? And Gold P is because these people sneak this and hide their hands. And you got to know Kim Foster, because of her proximity to white influential people. You got to know she says stuff like this around them. And even if it's just one black woman that falls off of her channel and onto my channel and finds this video, I want them to hear a different perspective and like what is really fueling why Kim Foster sounds the way she does. Right? If we could even get one, right, that matters. And the other day, last night actually, someone accused me of being SBE, and I was like, yeah, I don't see how that's a bad thing. So yeah, if this SBing keeps even one sister from being another black woman talking crazy about black men, particularly in the presence of non-black people, then I'm doing some type of work out here, right? And this is for black men to also, when you come across the Kim Fosters, to know what they sound like and look like, right? And know what's really fueling them, right? There's what they say and then what they mean, right? So there's that also. And thank you for the super chat. And TJ Hanna says, been listening for a minute, but I came back to get some straightening. Quotes, straightening. Keep doing your things, Mr. Z. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Hanna. Right? And that's all this is. And shout out to her. Shout out to Miss Foster. Look, you continue doing your thing, and I'll continue to respond with my little ass channel. I ain't even gonna read that out loud, Spain man. I'm not even gonna read it out loud. Right? But yeah, look. Okay, fine. Fine. We're gonna continue to have these people sneak dissing, speaking like they're above it. Um, you know, she saw the Ebony K. William interview, and I would, you know what? It would be good. You know what, Kim Foster? It would be great if you spoke to Iyanla Vanzant and talk to her about your little traumas as a child watching upper middle class and upper crust and educated black women be in relationship with black blue collar men that didn't appreciate them and that actually resented them. Go ahead, talk to her about that. right? Meanwhile, wait. So this was your response, and we're truly going to end after this. This was your response to Iyanla Van Zant speaking to Ebony Cale Williams about dating a bus driver, or would she entertain a bus driver, or would she be in a relationship with a bus driver, or would she marry a bus driver? This was your response to her. But Ebony Cale Williams had to freeze her eggs, and she's 40 years old. Do you not? But and she wants to be in a relationship. She wants to be married. Do you not understand what Iyanla Van Zant was saying? Wait, Kim, let me get this right. You watched that interview and you missed the part about Iyanla Van Zant pretty much saying we have to recalibrate, we have to rethink these things because of where we're situated as women in this society. You missed that part? You, the researcher, Harvard educated. So you missed that part because you posted this video, which you made earlier, because I saw the original, but you didn't edit it to make some corrections to add anything in. So this was your response to Iyanla Van Zant, a 3 minute some odd second long video where you didn't address the part where she said we got to reconsider and pretty much rethink our position because of where how we're situated in this society. And by the way, when she said that part, she wasn't even just talking about black women. Yikes. Hmm. Yeah. So on that note, um, look, they're gonna keep on going, and unfortunately for Miss Foster subscribers, y'all don't make the type of money she make to truly tell black men "f you," particularly blue collar black men. Yeah. Oh, and y'all ain't peep what Miss Foster really is yet. Told y'all she's a chocolate dip white elitist woman, but and just like the petite bourgeois white women that started this whole feminism crap, you know, Miss Foster is just continuing the torch as a petite bourgeois black woman. Let's just wait for the day because she's gonna do it. Where she says she's better than the rest of you black women too. If you don't see that coming, right? If you don't see that coming, I told y'all Chrissy don't mess with y'all for real, and you waited long enough, and she went in on y'all too. Cynthia G the same way. All right, y'all keep on listening to these people. And Gold Pieces, and thank you for the super chat. And Gold Pieces, are any of you familiar with the cartoon Foster's Home of Imaginary Friends? I think so. I think so. Right. And he says Kim lives there too. I think about let me let me Google it while I'm on. Give me a second. Give me a second. Because let's make sure that I'm right about what I you're referring to. Right. Let's see. Foster's. Yeah. Yep. That's the one. That's the one. Yeah, that's the one. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, true. Yeah. Bougie ass, right? And I wonder if she's as bougie as she portrays. Because a lot of people, particularly women, like they portray a level of bouginess they're not actually, right? It's fake it till you make it. Although I do think Kim is probably closer to the bourgeois like expression of wealth that she's attempting to portray. But I wonder if she really is all the way there, the way she speaks like she is, right? Thank you, Indigo. Thank you. And Indigo says, I'm laughing thinking of us in our early 50s and pointing at the TV like Leo DiCaprio when Kim fulfills Mr. Z's prediction. Man, look, I'm telling you. So on that note, everybody, y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Um, you know, gotta make this morning phone call because I'm not at the house. Um, love, peace, and chicken grease. We'll pause right there, right? And yeah. So once again, just Miss Foster did, yeah. And then you reposted it, Jesus Christ. And this was your response to Ebony Ebony K. Williams and the Yolanda Van Zant interview, huh? And all the black women that swear the world is trying to tell them to settle, then don't settle. Just be like the other women that are telling us how they've been celibate for 5 and 10 and 15 and 17 and 20 years, right? Or be like the homegirl that was in the car crying because the frat bro played her, right? And then we could hear y'all stud daddies telling us how there's so many black women entering into relationship with them, but it's really because they have issues with black men and they don't like eating vagina, which comes with the territory. You got options outside of blue collar black men, or you can be on the roster of the upper crust men, regardless of what race they are. You could be, you know, side chick number 6 or something. You have options. You have choices. You have options. There's a difference, but I know, right? So yeah. On that note, we'll truly pause right here. So love, peace, and chicken grease, Mr. Zia. Pause right here. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day, right? Uh, right. Yeah. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. It's just funny. Yeah. This chick really thinks that she's above us, right? And I can't take away from her degree. I actually applaud her for her degree and being in that space with those people and accomplishing, like literally the most notable school on the planet, right? Can't take that away from her. Everything outside of that, though, ugh, right? So love, peace, and chicken grease. We'll pause right here. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. Dr. Thunder might be starting up a stream, so y'all might want to go check him out over there. And we will pause right here. Truly, y'all have a great rest of y'all day. And Mr. Z out. All right, everybody. Y'all have a great day. There you go. Dr. Thunder said going live in a few minutes. All right, y'all. And Trail says box lunches is a viable option. That's a good ending. There we go. I guess not for Kim Foster. She's in a relationship with a black man. All the rest of you, all right, y'all.